Hi, I'm Gary and welcome to the Kindred Way. So today we're going to be making a dish called Chicken Yum Yum, and just to let you know, I know you're used to seeing my sister Carrie, but I'm taking over for this because this is one of my favorite dishes. So it's actually really easy. There's, not a lot of ingredients in it. So I've already measured it out. We're going to take 1 cup of mayonnaise. I know it sounds weird, but trust me, it works. 1 can of cream of mushroom soup. We're going to take 1 can of cream of chicken soup. 1 cup of sharp cheddar cheese. You can use whatever cheese you want as long as it's cheddar. There might be more than a cup of cheese in here because it's really good. Yum yum. And this is going to be approximately 3 cups of cubed chicken breast. So if you want to use turkey, use turkey. You can use anything you want, really, to your liking. So that's up to you. I use the chicken cubes because I can scarf it down. Now this is 4 bags of 12-ounce what they call winter mix, which is cauliflower and broccoli. So I use 4 12-ounce bags because I'm using an 11 by 15 pan glass. The reason being is because this makes a whole lot. And last time I made this for my family here, my wife, my brother-in-law, or I'm sorry, my sister, my brother-in-law, and my 2 nephews, I thought there would be leftovers, and there were, until 9 o'clock the next morning. It was all gone. So you can scale this down to fit what you want to do. If you do scale it down, I recommend keeping the measurements for the mayonnaise, the soups, and the cheese. If you scale it up, same thing, keep it the way it is, it'll work, definitely. So the first thing you want to do if you have an oven like this, which my sister has mentioned before, is you want to start it a couple hours early because it takes a while to heat up to 400 degrees. So 400 degrees. While that's happening, we're going to turn on a pot of hot water to boil. What we're going to do is, first thing we're going to do is we're going to add the chicken to the boiling water. And we're
boiling water.
Enough boiling water to cover the chicken, and or vice versa. If you want enough water to cover the chicken, or if you want enough chicken to fit into the amount of water you have in here, both work. So we're going to take this, we're going to put it into the boiling water, and we're going to let it cook. Then we're going to take a handy dandy scooper with whole things. And we're going to take the chicken out, put it in a separate thingy to save, but we're going to keep the water, okay? Don't get rid of the water, leave the water in there. Once the chicken's done and is set aside, we're going to take all these wonderful vegetables. You can use any vegetables you want. I love cauliflower and broccoli, but you can get other mixes of cauliflower, broccoli, carrots, whatever you want to do. It would probably taste great with Brussels sprouts too. A note, when you buy these, sometimes you get bags and you open them up and there's just massive chunks of vegetables in there and you're like, and you got to cut them up. So I recommend thawing them just a little bit, opening them up, and if you need to cut them, you need to cut them. Last time I did this, huge chunks. This time, they're perfect. Who knew? So, all right. So what we're going to do is we're going to bring this to a boil. Everything's all ready to go. I'm going to get this chicken going, and I'll be right back. You can hit pause now. Okay, so the water's starting to boil. So we're going to add, this is about 3 cups of chicken, maybe a little more. I like the chicken in it. So you can add more or less depending on, how big your pan is, and, you can adjust what you want. So what we're going to do is we're going to take this chicken and we're going to put it in this hot water and try not to splash. And I have to admit, when my sister said that it was hot in the kitchen, it's not near as hot behind the camera as it is in front of it. So, alrighty. So putting this chicken in, I like to you know, let the chicken sit out a little bit, let it get kind of to room temperature, maybe not total room temperature, because when you put it in the water, it's going to cool it down quite a bit. So you just kind of give that a little stir initially to break up the pieces, because you know how chicken is when it's raw, it likes to stick. So you want to get everything broken up in there. I like to use this spoon strainer. I'll figure it out. I like to use this. So we're going to use this. So I'm going to wash this out because we're going to use this to mix our other ingredients in. 1 second. All right, so grab a couple paper towels here and dry this off. It's always nice to have a clean cooking area when you're doing it. But when you're doing a video, you always make it look nice to go. So anyways, okay. So that's done. So now what we're gonna do while that's doing its thing, kind of make sure you stir it once in a while to break it up, make sure all the pieces are gonna get cooked. It's gonna take a little bit, not a whole lot of time, but enough time for us to, and you can set this on here even though it's in the chicken, because this is all going in the oven together. It's all gonna bake at a high temperature, so I'm not worried about chicken broccoli. Okay, so what we're gonna do is we're gonna take our mayonnaise, we're gonna dump that in here, thusly. Okay, we'll put that over here. Cream of mushroom soup, that's next. It all goes into the pool. Doesn't it already look awesome? Yeah, okay. I can say that because I know what it's going to taste like. Alrighty. Now the cream of chicken, that's going to go in. Alright. Cheese. This is a cup of cheese. There might be a little more than a cup in there. I dig the cheese. So you can do whatever you like with it. I'm going to pour that in. Okay. Now we're going to mix this up really well. And just a note, we made a video on Mama's carrot cake, and what you didn't see off camera was, you know, she poured it in the pan and put it in the oven and took the mixing bowl and put it over on the counter. So I decided, you know, I wanted to go over there and taste it a little bit, and I think we should make a Mama's carrot cake pudding, because that woman knew what she was doing. She did. I remember growing up with her, me and Carrie, and she was always a Southern cook, and she always made the best meals. I mean, really. So if you haven't had a chance to look at that, go check out Carrie doing the Mama's carrot cake. You know, when she was making the video, we didn't know how it was going to turn out, because back then the recipe was in your head, and you know, you kind of wrote down what you had to write down, but it turned out amazing. So definitely reminiscent of Mama. Okay, so you really want to make sure this is mixed really well, because you want this cheese, I mean, really spread out in this sauce. You don't want to get done with it and have a plot of cheese here and some here. Everybody fights over the cheese. So make sure it's mixed really well. Okay. You know what? That's pretty good. Okay, so we'll set this aside. Let's go back and check chicken. Now, when you cook this chicken, you might notice, and most of you will probably already know, when you cook chicken in water, as you cook the chicken, you get some of the proteins that come off it, and they float in the water, so they make this beautiful white fluffiness on top of the water. So it's nothing bad, but I always take it off. That's just me. You don't really have to, because we're going to use this water to cook the vegetables in. So, and once the vegetables are cooked, we're gonna strain them anyway and rinse them with hot water. We're gonna rinse them with hot water.
Take two.
So when we're done, we're gonna take the vegetables out and we're gonna strain them really well in hot water. So that'll get any film that'll be on there off. So no big deal. So right now, I would say the chicken is really close to being done. It doesn't have to stay in there a long time. It's maybe 10 minutes or so, depending on how hot you get your water, what kind of stove you have and things like that. So I got the oven at 400 degrees. So in a couple minutes, I'm gonna take this chicken out, put it in another container and throw the vegetables in. I totally forgot to get a bowl to put my chicken in. I'll be right back. I'm working on it. Hang on. I get a bowl. Alrighty, I'm back. I did not find the bowl I was looking for. Instead, I'm going to use this nice festive Christmas bowl. Okay. Alrighty. So what we're going to do now, let me move this out of the way. We're going to take a look at our chicken here. See how it is. You know what? I think we're good on the chicken. So I'm going to turn the burner off, and I'm going to remove some of the top on it. Again, you don't have to. It's just something I do. But you're all pretty smart. You'll know what to do. Okay. So now that is off, we're going to take our chicken. And here's another reason I use this big spoon, because I can get a whole lot out at a time. So we'll take this out. And take your time. The last thing you want is to get splashed with hot water, because it's really hot. Okay. Okie dokie, almost done. If you don't get them all out, it's okay. They're just gonna be in there with the cauliflower and broccoli. They're going back into the pot anyway, so it doesn't matter. Okay, so now that we got all our chicken out, we're just gonna set it aside. Now this water, we're gonna turn on again, because I kind of semi-thawed these vegetables because I didn't know if they were going to be big chunks that I had to cut up, and when it's frozen they're really hard to cut. So that's why I did that. Normally I'll just take them and put them in. So this is 4 12-ounce bags worth. Now when you make yours, I have an 11 by 15 pan that's going in, so I'm making a lot. If you're using a smaller pan, 3 bags should suffice. If you're making just a really small batch, 2 bags, you know, whatever you want. All right, so now we're gonna take all this and put it in the water that our chicken was in. And you take your time, because this won't take long. It doesn't have to stay in there a long time. Basically what you wanna do is you want to get all these vegetables nice and hot. So, because it's going in the oven, you know, but we just want to soften them up a little bit and get a little more of that chicken flavor in there that was from the chicken we just cooked. And don't make the mistake I've made in the past of adding lots of water to the bowl, putting your chicken in, and then realizing, hey, I have too much vegetables for my pot. It's going to overflow. So think about that. So as you can see, the water level is really high. So just take your time. So here is the 11 by 15. So this is going to be, this is a pretty big pan. Usually use like a 9 by 11 or something like that. So this one here is a 5 quart. So 4 bags, the chicken, the sauce, it should all go on really, really, really well. So give this a few stirs. And now remember, once this is done, what we're gonna do is we're gonna take it over to the sink and we're gonna rinse it with a lot of hot water. When we're done, we're gonna take it over to the sink and rinse it with a lot of hot water. Okay, I guess I do take after my sister a little bit. So, don't look at me like that. You know exactly what I'm talking about. So this should take maybe 5 minutes. Give it a stir, keep it warm. It's almost done. So I'm gonna get my strainer out and get it set. I'll be right back. Okay, so this is mixed. The vegetables on the stove just have maybe not even a few more minutes, maybe a couple minutes. Like I said, they're gonna go in the oven. Basically what you wanna do is get that frost off them, soften them up just a little bit. And that's what we're doing. So let's take a look here. One good way of telling where these are at, when you have it in here after like 5 minutes and you stir it like that, just feel it really quick. If that water is hot, then the vegetables are good to go. All right, so we're gonna turn this off. I'm going to get my handy dandy little shark mittens, which, although they look funny, let me tell you what, these things work great. So I'm gonna grab this. I'm gonna take it over to the strainer over here. I'm gonna dump them out, rinse them with hot water really well, and then I'm gonna bring them right back. Hang on. Oof. Oofta. Okay. That is warm. Okay. Give me just a minute. Rinse them off. And if you're gonna do this, make sure you use hot water, really, because if you use cold water, you're kind of defeating the purpose of what we're doing. So, okay. Oh, yeah, that's warm. My sister has one of those instant heat water heater things. Unlike the one I used to have, this gets really hot. So, so you want to rinse them really, really well. I mean, don't go crazy. Don't spend a half hour over here rinsing them, you know. Just give them a good, you know, bath. Okay. Okay. So, now we want to shake and we want to get as much water out as we can. And so you don't make a mess, you go really quick and pour them right in there, all in. Alrighty, so we've got that. You can spread them out however you want, you know. I personally like the shake, shake, shake method, and you know, make sure everybody's kind of spread out, because when you go to dig into it, you want everything equal, right? Okay, so now the chicken. So we're just going to take the chicken and we're just going to kind of sprinkle it on there. I don't care what anybody says, more chicken is more good. Okay, so now we're going to kind of spread it around here like so. My professional technique for spreading chicken. If you want, I can do classes on how to spread chicken with a big spoon. Okay, that part's done. Look at that. No, glad I just, okay. All right, so now we have our good stuff on top. So we're just gonna take this, we're gonna roll it in. We're just gonna make one big swipe here. Get it all in there. All right, I'm gonna put this right over here. Now with this, just spread it out over the whole thing. You know, just kind of get it into all the corners. That way, when it's in the oven and it's melting and melding and doing its yummy goodness, and that's probably why it's called chicken yum yum, because when this stuff starts getting in there, okay, so let me do this. Look at all that cheese, and it's good. Yeah, cheese is good. Cheese, chicken, yeah. All right, almost done. I try to get the edges nice and done. Again, that way, you know, everything gets done. Okay. Oh, I missed a spot. Huh? What'd I tell you? See? Now, you're gonna put this into a preheated 400-degree oven. Now, I say 400 degrees, every oven is different. You all know this. So what I like to do is I'll put it in for 45 minutes and then I'll check it. Basically, you'll know it's not, because everything's already hot pretty much, except for the top. But once this top gets a bubbly kind of golden brown, you'll know it's ready. Now, some people will want it more golden brown. Some people will want it less golden brown. You can do what you want with it. It's gonna be cooked, okay? Within a 35, 40 minutes, it's technically done. But I personally like the top to get a nice golden brown. So let's throw it in the oven. Uncovered. Okay, so we're gonna do 45 minutes. We're gonna start, and we have a nice clean cooking area for our next episode. Anyways, I will see you in 45 minutes and we'll take a look at it and see how it looks. Hey, welcome back. I'm glad you're still with us. Just want to ask, you know, hit that subscribe button, hit the notification bell. I know you hear it all the time. It's a small thing for the viewers. It's a big thing for us doing this. Me and my sister we love doing this. It's just something that's great. She loves baking and she's so good at it. I'm horrible at baking. I just want to eat the dough. I do more of the cooking part of it, and she does too. So there's gonna be more coming in the future. Soon to come up, I'm gonna do my world famous super extravaganza potato soup with dumplings. And let me tell you what, it goes fast. Anyways, it's been 45 minutes, almost to the second. I just turned it off, so we're gonna open it up and take a look. Luckily, I know how my sister's oven cooks, and 45 minutes is a good time. Yours might be a little more, a little less. Let's take our shark mix and find out here. Oh, it's hot. Okay. Look at that. I didn't lie. It's yeah. But I need to do a disclaimer on this, and I meant to do it earlier. There's so many components of this that store heat. So taking this out of the oven like this, it's gonna be thermonuclear. Okay, so just don't grab it, throw it on your plate and start chowing it, because you're gonna get burns and it's gonna hurt. Okay, so 45 minutes. So what you want to do with this is you want to let it sit for at least 10 minutes. Let everything settle, let it do its thing, and then you can start carving it up and feeding everybody. It's great. You can take this once it's completely cooled down. You can cut it up in sections, put it in a Ziploc bag, put it in the freezer, and you can pull portions out, and you can just open it, put it in the microwave. If you have boil bags that you put it in, you can take it and just put it on your stove and boil it, you know, to get it done. So there's a lot of things you can do with this. One thing I don't do with this is I don't add seasoning, and the reason I don't is because between the cream of chicken soup, cream of mushroom, the cheese, and the mayonnaise, it gives it a lot of great flavor. That mayonnaise really adds kind of a flair to it. It's really nice. And the cheese. Now, after that, add salt and pepper to taste. It's up to you. But I really appreciate you staying with us and watching this. It's a great recipe. Your family's gonna love it. I think it's something that you'll make more often than you think. So until next time on the Kindred Way, I'm Gary. If there's any questions or comments you have, please put them in the comments down below, and check out the other links that we have. We're growing every day, and it's important to us to know what you think and what you like and what you like to see in the future. So give us a holler. We appreciate all of you. Thank you. We'll see you next time on the Kindred Way.